Hello. I'm starting to wonder if the cable's disconnected. Hello and welcome. My name's Trismegistus, and I'm having some troubles with my microphone. So I don't think the camera's quite right. I seem to be over to the left, unusually. I've a bit of a rush to set up because my Steam Deck arrived. My steaming deck of Steam. Let's have a look, see if all the things are doing. Yeah. So, hello, welcome. My name's Trismegistus. And this is me playing Satisfactory. I'm exactly where I was last stream, so on Monday. This is exactly the position I was. I have not moved a single inch since then. The reason being, I've been playing the old Grey Knights, so the Warhammer 40,000 Demon Hunters, Grey Knights, whatever they ended up calling it. I switched over to the easy mode in that game, and it's better, but it's too easy. So there really is some kind of balancing problem. They did actually mention in a patch notes that they're going to look at it, but yeah. So I put on the title. We're not actually going to. We're over at the the uranium facility. In fact, did I leave the train running? Because we don't want it to stop, really. Not that it's really doing much use, but we might as well have it going. And maybe at some point, because I haven't fixed this. The train is just, not doing what it's meant to do. Timetable. Where's the train? Turn on self-driving. Is it moving? Yeah, it's moving. Cool. So we'll just have it going back and forth. I don't think it's doing what it's meant to be doing. I'm not sure these work if you turn them around, so they all have to be on the same size, I think. But yeah, so we're not going to do any of that. We could do, but I don't really fancy it. I had a bit of a complicated week that I haven't really enjoyed. And the thought of bashing my brains against the nuclear is not appealing to me today, so we'll probably do that on Monday when I'm a bit more in the mood. But for the time being, I will put a load of this stuff that I grabbed before in these chests. So I don't actually know what I put in where, but we'll sort of take some cues from whatever it is. I think we're going to have to head back to the base and grab the other vehicle. So it's got some RCUs and motors, and I don't know if the rotors are in there or not. Can't see them, so let's not preempt that just yet. We've got pipes, we've got them. Is that everything? We've got them. I say, because the vehicle's sort of stacked up with... No, there's nothing else in there. Okay, so it looks like I can put in whatever, wherever now. But these are the things for nuclear, so I don't want to rob Peter to pay Paul, as it were. We might as well leave some ammo and stuff here. I don't think I need all of these as such. Should I leave that? I might as well leave my nuclear. My hazard vest, really, because I don't really need it. Could leave them here. And then, I don't know, put them in. Oh, no, no, missed. Keep them with me. There we go. Oh. Hello. Nemone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the compliment about the name. Oh, why is that not popped up? Oh no, there we go. That's a bit of delay on that. Thank you very much for the follow as well. How are you doing? I hope you're well. It's a very cool name. I didn't appreciate what it was when I picked it. I just sort of I'm hunting for my truck. Oh, here it is. Here we go. It's cooler than I thought it was when I picked the name. I basically just picked it because it was there's something in a book that I liked, and it was called Trismegistus. Like, you've also got called Nemone. That's a bit of a tongue twister, but Nemone. Yes, very very good. At least I was led you to wisdom regardless of the path. Yeah, so I didn't know any of that when I I was quite young. I mean, I've had the name. You've been using it for 25 years or something, more than that probably. I am right with this, aren't I? This hasn't got. Hang on a sec. I didn't actually check what's in here. Yeah, so this is completely empty. Okay. So we need to pop back to my main factory, get the truck that's got all of the whatchamacallit, Caterium wire in it. And then we'll head over to the smeltery and we'll just grind away. Plan for today is just to keep going with the smeltery, basically. I keep calling it smeltery. It's sort of a combined copper, iron, rods, screws, wires, cables factory. But it's sort of the really basic stuff. But the numbers are a bit bonkers, so it's got quite a lot of stuff in it. Ooh, cracky. So tell me your current paradigm on the game. What's your goal? How do you plan to get there from here? So essentially, my only plan is to finish off the milestones and the the research basically. So the space elevator stuff, because I basically, I bought the game when it came out early access and played it then as far as you could, which wasn't. They only had was it 4 tiers or something, and played that through. And then I haven't touched it since it came to update 4. I hadn't touched it, and update 5 happened while I was doing this streaming series. So basically, I haven't really played the game as such. So my only goal is to get to the end game, and I used the part there. I used the Factorio Lab calculator to crunch some numbers for basic. It is this one, isn't it? Yeah, here we go. What's missing in there? Got two slots missing. Must be fuel, I think. Yeah, I used the Factorio Lab calculator to come up with some sort of rough estimates of decent sort of numbers to produce everything at. So I haven't put any single thing into the final milestone. It's all still waiting to go. And I've got two technologies left basically. So the leading edge and whatever the final one is. I've probably got most everything apart from those weird newest version of the cubes. Fuel. That would be over at my little hub. And so I come up with some numbers that roughly would equate to that. I've not really been using. There's a giant raid came in last Monday. It was completely. I just do this as a hobby. I'm not, and if I get 4 people, I'm sort of happy. And about 100 people came in. And sort of really confused me. But they were telling me about, I haven't really done many of the hard drives, the alternate researches, and I think that's probably a mistake, because they were saying there's some really, really good ones. But the ones I did just seemed rubbish. They just seemed worse than, the normal recipes. You'll keep forgetting what I'm after. But yeah, so that's probably a mistake, but I'm just going to plough on, finish these off with sort of, regular recipes, and then maybe I'll do something, trying to hunt them. Part of the problem is I don't really enjoy the process of going and finding the hard drives. I'm not really a fan of sort of collectathons, that type of gameplay. But oops, no, I wanted to round that off. Like the slugs, if I see the slugs, I'll go and get them, but I don't actively pursue them, so I'm not doing a lot of overclocking. Plus, they sort of said, didn't they, that update 6, well, I don't think they're doing it update 6, but they're probably going to change how the overclocking works anyway. So a completely different game to the one you experienced. I wouldn't say it was completely different, it's sort of more, basically, so I don't know that they've really changed any of the basic recipes, but certainly I don't remember overclocking being in it. I think it must have been because the slugs were there, but obviously when they updated the what did they update? They updated the desert a bit, you know, and things like that. So I think they'd already. I think the full map was there, wasn't it? But they've reworked a couple of biomes. And, I got that fuel, and then I didn't put it in here. I'm just using the biofuel to power these because I've got tons of it basically. Yes, but it is quite different in the sense that there's way more. I mean, there weren't any trains in it. I think there were. Were there? No, I don't think there were cars and trucks and stuff. It's difficult to remember. It was so it was so long ago. They already changed it, have they? It isn't that they're going to change it. That they change it every day. Oh, right. I didn't know that. So, are you a sort of experienced Satisfactory player? You played the game through? Because they sort of, I mean, don't. How to put it? I don't mind, like, they call it backseating, don't they? But if you want to throw in tips and stuff, or advice or whatever, then feel free. But the sort of counter to that is if I ignore you, I'll just do whatever I want and don't be offended, sort of thing. I tend to play these games suboptimal is not really the word, but just the way I want to play them, as it were. I'm not usually that fussed about efficiency and all that sort of stuff. I say, like, it's quite useful. I say people talking about the hard drives. And I wasn't really aware there were such good recipes in them. Yes, but certainly been a journey of discovery. I made a few. Oh no, hit the tree anyway. I didn't unlock virtually anything in the awesome shop. Right, let's see if we can avoid ending up in the water this time. Oh, there we go. I didn't really unlock anything in the awesome shop because I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a, because it's Coffee Stain, Goat Simulator and all that sort of stuff, and it was sort of a jokey, it's quite jokey, but so I just assumed it was a bunch of gag stuff, like the coffee cup and stuff. So things like the the level 2 wire, connectors and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't using them at all because I didn't even know they existed. But this guy, I seem to remember it's better to go around this way. Oh, sorry, it wasn't meant to be. Sorry, I wasn't. It wasn't meant to be a lecture anyway. It's just. I gotta go. I really no offense was meant there at all. It's sort of. It's just to say. I mean, you get some people, they come on and they get annoyed if they give an advice and you don't follow it, sort of thing. And it was just to say that don't do that, because you get I mean, these games, people put thousands of hours into them, and they know them really, really well. And I know, I know it's always meant in good spirit, as it were. It's just say I've had a few negative reactions when I haven't done things that people have said, so it was just to say that, really. But no, if you don't want to hang around, no problem. Yeah, anyway, so today is just going to be a sort of a keeping going with the foundry, really. So I was playing, the Demon Hunter game most of the week, so I haven't really done anything in this. didn't really fancy working out nuclear again. Sort of a bit complicated. Especially with that train not working. I don't really know why that didn't work. My only guess is that the platforms have to be the same way around. But is it up here? Yeah, there we go. Oops. Seem to recall I need to grab a load of concrete as well. Just go and do that. Oh. Yes, we need to go to one of the other ones then. Where are the other ones? I think there's one over this way. There we go. So I'm pretty sure I need to add a couple of levels to the thing. Might as well pop some of that in there and top it off. Cool. Might turn out I've already got lots of concrete, but I can't remember. I'm sure we'll need it for the steel foundry as well anyway. The whole feeling. Oh no, I have got the jetpack. Yeah. Okay. Let's put the legs on though. And if we ferry this concrete up for the time being. Yeah, I think there were a couple of these. That one had some in. Okay. Let's put that in there then. Whoops. Looks like I've been sort of filling up random boxes with concrete rather than sort of organise it. Okay, so if we're going to get the Caterium, because I've got about 1 million lights to put in, so that's why I've got all this Caterium. It won't be enough, but it's what we've got. I was thinking about, because I was saying about ferrying stuff around. I should really start. I think I should have put the railway in first, if that makes sense. So, should we do the lights? What do the lights need? So if we go, no, they're not in lights, are they? Architecture? No. Organisation. There we go. Ceiling light is Caterium, steel lamps, and copper. Okay. So there are a bunch of steel in here somewhere. No. 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 Where's the copper as well? No. There we go. Let's take some of that, and then wires has got to be here somewhere. Don't tell me I haven't got any wires. Oh. Oh no, here we go. Some wires. I guess we'll probably end up putting some of the old steel beams on, because they're not quite done. So they're just that. And then the power connectors are level 2, which is Caterium and rods. Okay. Where are the rods? You just can't colour these in. It'd be useful to sort of colour them in, so I knew what was in what. But say I don't think you can do that. Oh, and I guess cables, if I'm going to connect everything up. That'd make sense. Right. So I mean, I got like 1 million of them I need to put in. I think it's all done here. Pretty sure it's finished. How far did I get with this then? So maybe I've done a row? We'll see when we get down there. Okay, so let's just grind away. Oh, auto save. Right, so where am I line? Is it on that one? No, that's not one, is it? Always takes me a little moment to work out. Overlap it? No, that's got to be because it's the thing. Is it that one? That doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. So it's the big square in the middle. So it's that one. It's that one. Is that right? So it's lined up close to that. Oh, I haven't got the steel beam in here. Have I? I've missed it. Mised it. Is it gonna work? No. Oh, that's clearly wrong. Because that should be in the middle. Is that because the actual power pole is there and it won't let me clip it properly? Yeah, it's trying to clip to that. So if we take that out for the time being. There we go, that's better. Oh, come on. No, don't do that. So much for chilling. Don't quite know what it is sometimes that I'm doing wrong. It just seems very finicky. Maybe it's about the order I'm building it in. You know, that it'd be better to have done the beams first rather than some other things. Good to know, really. Without a bit more experience doing the business. Should be halfway, I think. This is one bit of this. Oh, what happened there? One bit of it I'm not so proud of. That one's short as well. What have I done there? Sort of a bit ugly. My power system, but yeah, whatever. It is what it is. You have to think about the back-seating thing. No offence was meant by that. It just... Some people do get quite sort of annoyed if you don't do exactly what you sort of they're telling you to do. I did get upset that one time when I couldn't work out why I was so upset. It turned out it was just because it was weirdly personal in a way that I know the person didn't intend, but just how I felt at the time. It's only one of them things, really. Come on. No? Yeah, I don't... Okay. Warning people off when it's not actually a problem. Maybe just not mention it. That's probably the... At least said soon as mended. As it were. Oh. Seems weirdly quiet to be the game. I'm just going to check my headphones in a second. No, they're at max. It did do it. What's it done there? Why have you done that, game? It did do another update. I don't quite understand how headphones can have an update. It seems very strange. What exactly are they updating? Because it's hardware. Right, I think that's all the beamy bits done. So let's finish off with finish off the lights. It's all set up in terms of, you know, I did the aesthetic bits, so we've got these floor holes everywhere. I just haven't done the connectory bits, which we'll get round to if we get round to. But I want to hook up the lights, I think, first, because I've had all this Caterium sat here. Not really doing anything for quite some time. Right, so what did I disconnect here in order to make this work? I disconnected this one, didn't I? So I'm using level 2s. Wait, that was a double. Like that. So I need to connect that to there, that to there, that to there. And then level 2s. That. Connect that to there. That's oops. There. And the lights come on. Hurrah! Okay. So. Once you get a first one on, it's easier to do the rest. Because then you're just looking for the first big square. Or I'm just looking for the first big square. Once it goes blue, it's easy enough to get them. The first one is always confusing. I should maybe colour them in or something with concrete. Help me work out which one's which. Oops. Don't know. It's Eurovision Song Contest this weekend. We're watching that. A lot of people sneer at it in this country. I've never got it, but you get some that are just really avant-garde. But it's like, you know, you get these things on Twitter when they have the Met Gala, and people sort of, you know, rip the piss out of what people are wearing and stuff, and it's like, it's kind of missing the point, because the whole thing is it's a charity. It's like a fashion charity, and you know, fashion's a form of art, to be honest with you. No, I'm not saying I would ever wear anything, you know, of that type. So I mean, I just get lost as to where it used to go. That's not the point, you know. It just seems very mean-spirited to me. I mean, you know. I've always been a sort of a live and let live type of person, really. So people aren't hurting anybody. Leave them to get on with it, you know. You do you. That's kind of my philosophy, really. I say that in a non-professional context, let's put it that way. Because I'm quite good at my job, to be frank. So if people are doing a bad job of it, you know, doing things wrong there, then that's a different thing. But in terms of, you know, wearing some clothes, I mean, what does it matter, you know? Let them wear what they want. So I'm not hurting anybody. Well, I'm assuming they're not hurting someone with their consent. It's quite quick to put these in because they're quite big. So don't actually put too many of them in. Are we doing one on the end? There probably will be one here because I don't think I need all this room to do all the sorting and stuff. But we'll see. What's that one? I can't work out whether the performance thing. Anyway, yeah, I was saying, so Eurovision. It's not because it's actually people. I say people in this country are atrociously xenophobic. I don't know if that's a common thing in all countries, but it seems to be very, very prevalent in Britain, the UK. It's part of a character I'm not particularly proud of. Comes of being an ex-empire, I think. It's sort of a... Well, we must be superior to everybody else because we used to rule... Well, as the expression goes, the sun never set on the British Empire. It spanned the globe. It was also generally appalling. But all empires are, I'm not saying that. Ours was particularly bad in that regard. I'm not that sort of up on it, but just about every empire is atrocious in some way. But yeah, you get this sort of, we think we matter. That's sort of the problem. And we don't, basically. If we matter as anything, it's as a sort of appendix to America. That's our only worth in the world. But people just don't really understand that. we go. See, they're quite quick to do. Take a bit longer to... Oh, cracking. Usually I'm going to struggle to say. Hello, Diblotian? Diblotian? Oh no, unless it's Diablo Tuyan. Apologies, I probably butchered your name completely there. Majority are not media make it out to be worse than it is. Is that in reference to... Yeah, that one. Diablotian. Do you mean... So I've ranged across a weird range of subjects there. It's not really, but there's a philosophy or, you know, politics type thing. It's just... So you get a lot of snobbishness for the Eurovision Song Contest, and I quite like it, and like unironically. We don't get me wrong, say some of the things are a bit out there and funny and stuff. But, so there's a very, very snobbish attitude in the UK to it a lot of the time. Doesn't help that obviously we do really badly because it is very political in the voting side of it. But understandably, it's like that thing of, you know, you're going to vote for your neighbours, aren't you? It's just human nature, really. And when they expanded it up to... Because it's the European Broadcasting thing or something. I can't remember what it's called. And basically anyone can apply to be in that. And post-Soviet... Oh, we've run out of wire. Okay, let's go get some more wire so we can finish this off. But expand it, so when it started, there were only like 12 countries in it or something, and sort of the, as it were, the larger Western powers, should we say, the larger European powers, so, you know, your France and your Germany and Spain and all that sort of stuff. Where the heck was wire? But post-Soviet bloc collapse. A lot of them joined the European... It's like the EBA, I think it is. European Broadcasting Agency, something like that. And so they all then could join the... part of the European... like the Eurovision. As I understand it, they used to watch it, you know, sort of... It was broadcast over there. It wasn't completely unknown to them. But... yeah, you know, if you're, you know, well, like, I mean, we always get, or usually get votes from Malta because it's a, you know, British occupied rock in the, you know, next to Spain basically, so they vote for us. We would normally get votes from Ireland and stuff like that, and you know, it's understandable because, you know, they're your neighbours sort of thing. But the fact that we're generally hated in Europe. I don't blame people for hating us. I hate us sometimes. But if you're going to go around, you know, behaving like some of our politicians do towards our neighbours, then it's hardly surprising people in those countries don't fancy voting for us in a song contest. Right, last couple. So that got way more political than I was intending. Sorry if no one's particularly interested in it. All I was really saying was I will be watching the Eurovision tomorrow. The final anyway. They do. But so because there's so many countries in it now, they do like semi-finals and stuff. I don't generally watch those. Mainly for time. It's sort of a lot to watch across all the thing. Because each, like, they do it as semi-finals and they're like 3 or 4 hour shows in and of themselves, I think. Right, so we need to connect up the wires. Connect up the connectors. But I can't remember how I was doing it. Was it literally one every block? It was, wasn't it? Okay. Have I connected these up to the... I don't think I have I? No, it's just the lights I've connected. Okay. Let's do that bit first then. So stream's not going to be anything particularly more interesting. I might go upstairs and work on something a bit more interesting, but so I just didn't fancy working on nuclear today. And it's not like I need it until this is up and running anyway, so it's sort of, you know. Yeah, I was thinking that a way around the issue I was having with supplies and stuff would have been to make my train system first. And then I could have brought the stuff along. I'd just manually put it into the carriages, you know. And just, you know, fill one up with deuterium and stuff and send it over here, or bring it over here. There's a lot sort of chicken and egg. There often is in these games where it's like, well, I can't build that until I build that. But I can't build that until the other thing is built. In order to build the other thing, I need to build the first thing. So it's sort of, you've got to decide what point you're starting and what point you're ending. Oh, cracking. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Do you have Ed Ewan? Positive same I stop watching your original ongoing. How long have we been playing Satisfactory? As in, so I basically bought the game when it came out, you know, early access. What was that, about 3 years ago or something? It was a long time ago. But I didn't play. I played it through as much as you could at that point. And I honestly can't remember now, but it was only like tier 4 or something, or, you know, it's quite low level compared to what it is now. And then I haven't then played it again until, so update 4 came out and sort of piqued my interest. And it wasn't, I didn't start this when update 4 came out, but it was, you know, a bit afterwards. So we've had update 5 sort of in the meantime. Is that the last one? I think that's the last one. Yeah, that'll do. Right, so connect out the wires. It should be 2 and then connect. I say I'm not massively proud of the wiring system. But what I was trying to do was basically, so the intention of this sort of series of streams is to essentially finish the game, in quotes. Obviously you can't really finish it. Come on. So there's got to be something I'm not doing right with them. Connecting them up. It seems very... Hitbox doesn't seem big enough. I don't know if it's just something I'm doing silly. Come on. Come on. There we go. Seems very fiddly. Been playing for about a week on and off. Oh, right. Okay, so you've recently got it. So an impressive game. Yeah, it's really good. I don't know. Are you sort of a general fan of you know, building management type games, or is this your first one? The reason that might sound like a weird question. So my favourite game of all time is Factorio, and I do streams of Factorio Saturdays and Sundays. Come on. But I'm a sort of general fan of build. Oh, come on. There we go. Building and management, you know, type games. That's sort of my genre, as it were. Games I love. Not that I'm saying that I'm good at them. I used to add. I just really enjoy them, you know. And so I got this because it's. I mean, when they launched it, and they have said since that they kind of intended this as 3D Factorio. Obviously, it is quite different in reality. Come on. Come on. There we go. No. There we go. God, it can be a bit painful connecting them up sometimes. Oh, Scrap Mechanic. I've not played that actually. I've got Is that the one where you're dropped on? I might be thinking of something different. But there's one where you're dropped on a planet, I think, and it's, you know, the entire planet is covered in scrap. Is that the one? So I haven't played that one yet, because I think it came out recently. I might be thinking a different game, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But It looked quite interesting. I think it's early access, isn't it? So I might give it a go. But no, so what I was sort of leading up to there is, if you played other ones, you know, do you play other ones sort of thing? Because I find that it's sort of interesting. Oh, come on. Why is that not connecting on there? Let's do it the other way around. Interesting that sort of some people tend to have a favourite and sort of stick mostly to that one. Whereas I'm a bit more of a, how would you put it? What's a polite way of putting it? Sort of, I play all sorts of them, sort of thing. I like them in general. So another one I really love is Satisfactory program. But you get people who just they play Satisfactory and they're not interested in the others, sort of thing. And I get it. I mean, the first person thing is particularly powerful, should we say? It's a big thing for a lot of people. And both Factoro and Dyson Sphere are, third person basically. So very different perspective. Obviously, very similar. A bit like survival games. You're always punching trees and rocks at the beginning. So in all of them, you make, you smelt iron ore and you smelt copper ore. You make steel. Oh, Icarus. Yeah, I'd not. That's a bit more survivally, I think, isn't it? Icarus. So of them, I mean, what's your sort of favourite one? You sort of got any preferences? Play most, to be honest. Valheim. Yeah, Valheim's really good. That sort of, so I was very unkind to it. Maybe I don't think that was quite what I was meaning. But do you know Don't Starve? I don't know if you know that game, but sort of Valheim has done a thing, particularly the survival aspect to it, where I think it's really clever what they've done. But it is very, I say, it's quite a little bit similar to Don't Starve in that, although that isn't its if you don't eat, you die sort of thing. But the whole mechanic of in Valheim of, you don't actually have to eat or drink sort of thing, but if you do, well, drinking's not in it, is it? Is it? I can't remember. They're always buffs, so there's always a benefit to eating or drinking. And it's never a case of, because you're already dead in Valheim, aren't you? Because that's, that is what it is. Yeah, that's the Viking afterlife. Valhalla and that. It's got the tree and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's a really quite a good building system as well, I think. I mean, it's a little finicky as well, like this, I found, but the fact that it has structural, like this entire factory, it's not, I mean, it's just floating in the air, basically. I'm going to make it look like it's got supported by its legs. But it's just going to be a floating factory, really. Like most of these types of games in 3D. But they're a system that you have to have, you have to account for the strength of it. That's quite good. And the way they've done it is good as well. I think there are other ones that have done it. My only thing with it, the thing I didn't really like, and it's because I have a bit of a thing about boss fights. I'm not that fan of boss fights, because it's just like, I don't know, I sort of get bored of just hitting the enemy over and over again. It's just like, I don't find that particularly interesting as such. Create this. Yes. So I put all of this together solo. I mean, it's been going a while. This is like the 45th stream or something. I did take a big break because I was playing. I started a Dyson Sphere game. Did a couple of streams just to see, because they introduced blueprinting, which is the thing I would say about this game. It needs blueprinting, or some kind of system like that, because this factory is really grindy. And this isn't, you know, even as big as it could be. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. I know it's something to do with the arrow, but the exact connecting point for the arrow seems to change. But yes, put all this together. I mean, the bit that took the most time, because this is all, it's cosmetic really, it's not really serving any purpose other than I think it looks quite good. But the bit that's really time consuming, as well as plopping all these machines down, is all the underbelly stuff. Because I'm using the old, where are they? The conveyor lifts to take things into this underbelly level. And these are all the splitters and sorters. You know, we're not going to do that today. I might put the connectors in, but this is quite. It's a bit complicated to do on stream because it's, again, it's the finicky connections that it has. Yeah, just I mean to show it to you. So basically, down here, this is going to be the train. This isn't going to be the orientation of the trains. The trains are actually going to go the other way. So the platforms will, you know, the trains will come in and out in that direction. Rather, they're not going to come in here because I'm going to have, you know, a giant train line. So basically, this is a steel and copper foundry, and it's going to have rods and screws and wires and cables, probably sheets as well. But the point is, I mean, it's enormous, but that's it. It's going to be all of the screws and all of the copper and everything I need, basically. So I'm not going to have another factory making copper or steel. Not but copper or iron. The idea is that the stuff is going to come in. So we're in the desert, which is like lousy with resources. There's loads and loads of miners, so I need to bring all that in. It's all going to get sorted in here. We'll have raw material coming in from other places as well, you know, raw iron ore and stuff, and then it goes down into that level there, which sorts it all into the appropriate places, and then feeds it up there, and then this is the smelting side of it. So these are the actual smelters. And so we've got iron on this side, and it needs a little bit of tightening up. I've been playing about with the, you know, trying to make the walls look good. But this is all the copper. So this is what it will look like in the end. They're red because the recipes aren't set, so that they don't draw any power. So there's nothing set there. So yeah, so this factory is going to be all the basic levels. I'm then going to build one over there. That is the steel foundry. So in that sort of relatively open bit there, I'm going to build a steel foundry. I've already got a factory over here. No, over where? Over here, where that train station is. At the moment, it's making like rods and screws and stuff, to say, and we're going to replace that. And it's basically going to be plates and is it? I've forgotten now. No, I'm making plates here, aren't I? I can't remember, but that's going to make reinforced plates, basically. That factory down there. And then I've got the startings of a oil factory here, which is what this train is just about to pick up. So that needs massively extending. This is where the main base is, and the idea is that these basic level resources are all going to come in here. In here to the main factory, and the main factory is going to focus on high level stuff. So it's going to be sort of a, you know, central hub, and all there is, you know, higher level production, so like computers and supercomputers and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be pretty low volume because it's not a big factory, and I don't think I'm going to extend it. But yeah, so the idea is that the high level stuff to fulfill the final phase goal will be made at that factory. So yeah, so that's the idea. But as I say, the game needs some sort of blueprinty system because these are all just identical, and you can overclock and stuff. But if you overclock, you need way more power. At the moment you do. They're going to tweak that. But yeah, so it gets a bit ridiculous. And I actually wondered, one of the things I wondered is maybe that they did intend the game to be multiplayer. Because obviously they have put it in. But it just seems like it's too grindy for a single player game in a sense. Because my plan that I used the Factorio Lab calculator to work out some numbers, and it's not actually going to... So those 4 things in the objective phase 4, it's not actually going to produce those at any particularly fast rate. It'll take about 6 hours. If I turn it on all at once, it'll take about 6 hours to produce all of those. So it's not quick, So I wondered if they had intended for it to be a multiplayer game predominantly. Because then, you'd be able to split the jobs. So, one person goes and makes the steel foundry and one person makes the iron foundry and that sort of thing. And so, it's a lot quicker then. Anyway. I'm blathering on about mine. What are you using to power this factory? So, that was what I was going to... So the last few streams I've actually been messing about with nuclear power. But I haven't really got that far with it. I've sort of worked out what I want to do, but I haven't actually properly built it yet because I'm actually in a bit of a strange situation where, as I say, because I hadn't played it through before, since it was launched, I didn't really know what the scale of anything was, which is fairly common with these types of games where you don't really know. Well, do I need 1 of these? Do I need 500 of them? What's a reasonable size factory? I think I might have gone a bit overboard, but it meant that essentially, am I going to do this now? Because this is a bit tedious putting these up. But I could just put the things in, couldn't I? It's a bit annoying putting them in. What was I saying? So, what my plan is? So the ultimate aim. So, in fact, let's run down. I'll go show the power profile. The factory at the moment is running on coal power and oil power, basically. There's a very good chance, actually, that the power will fail during this stream because the way I've set the oil up, there isn't anything to... If it's not using rubber and plastic, which it isn't because the factory's not really building anything, the oil isn't the fuel isn't produced, and if the fuel isn't produced, then the fuel fails. And when the fuel fails, the entire factory fails because the amount of coal power I've got is not enough to run the factory. So we've got this production line here, and you see this maximum consumption is way above. But the intention is to go for nuclear because a single nuclear reactor produces 2.5 gigawatts, so 2,500 megawatts. So if I just put in even 4 of those, that's 10 gigawatts, and I'll probably end up with more. But also you can use high-level fuel and you can overclock power. So if I can get 4 nuclear reactors running, that should give us 10 gigawatts, and then I can phase out, the coal so that I can use it for... I'll probably keep the like fuel, the oil power, because it's just easier to have some way of burning the fuel, basically. But yeah, the idea is ultimately to go nuclear. But there's 2 types of fuel. There's like the uranium, but you can also do plutonium, I believe. But so I've not got anywhere near that, so I don't know how easy or complicated that is. But the nuclear's quite interesting because there's only 3 spots of uranium. I don't know how many actual nodes there are. But there's only 3 places where there are uranium, I believe. There might be 4. I didn't quite understand what the map was telling me, but The one I'm building on is where is it? It's over here. So this is the Spire Coast basically, and that's the area they're reworking in Update 6. So ultimately, I'll need to get into the oil there, but so we're working it all. But the uranium, it's interesting that's not filled that out, given I've been up to the top of that. I wonder why that's not showing that. But there's a uranium node up the top here. But uranium is radio, obviously, in real life, but in this game as well. It's radioactive, and you have to wear a hazard suit, basically. So it's a little difficult to work with, and very difficult to experiment with, because if you're sort of messing about with it, you can easily get irradiated without realizing it, and it's very radioactive, like more than it would be in real life. So you can't actually do a lot with it without the hazmat suit. As I guess you need to handle the waste. Apparently so, yeah. I believe there is something you can do with waste now. But when they introduced it, you couldn't, I believe. So you just had to like stick it in containers. And obviously they were, unbelievably radioactive. Like go anywhere near them, And people actually found like exploits because you can like clip through the map. So they were basically dumping them under the map in a way. Almost like, real world with where they put the nuclear waste in these deep caves, But yes, you have to deal with the nuclear waste. But as I say, I believe that you can either reprocess it into plutonium. I don't know if that's a complete conversion, or I think it's part of the nuclear pasta. I think it's effectively an offshore for that. I mean, what I really want to do is... Oh, I've gone too far, haven't I? Is just work out how it works. Until these factories are set up, I don't need all that extra power. Play with my friends online. I played solo for a few hours. Yeah, sure. Not enough time in the day. Yeah, I ended up getting this feeling that perhaps, multiplayer was kind of how they'd intended it. Because it really ramps up. I mean, it's common with all, building games. The demand gets higher and higher as you go up. But this is like off the charts. It's not. So Dyson Sphere program, it only gets, ridiculous if you decide to make it ridiculous. None of the recipes are that crazy. You can finish the game with a fairly decent factory on a couple of planets, and that's all you need. And it's only if you decide I want to build a mega factory that it goes nuts. Factorio, again, you need a pretty big factory, but it's more that. For that game, it's more the ramping up is the particular technologies. So, when you do blue science, a lot of people stumble with that because it's like a lot more complicated. And then purple and gold are very big production demands, but not if once you know what you're doing, it's not actually that hard. And of course, both Factorio and Dyson Sphere program have blueprinting systems. So once you've got a design you like, that does say 100 steel plates or whatever, then you can just copy and paste it. But this game you can't. So you've got to grind out every single. I have hand placed every single one of these smelters. I mean, hopefully I don't ever have to hand place them. Well, that's not true actually. I'm going to have to do blooming Caterium. I forgot about Caterium. But yeah, it's just really, really like time consuming. get this bit done, I think we'll then go and work on... I don't really need this row, do I? Thinking about it, because we'll put it in because it's, you know, symmetrical. But both the smelters and the lights are connected on that row. So we'll just put it in because it's... And I might put something on the outside, like some lights or something like that. But so I think that where this game really wins, you know, the unique aspect to this game that, you know, makes it a particular standout is the cosmetic side. So even a ham-fisted Luddite like me who wouldn't know pretty if you smashed him around the face with it can do something that, you know, I mean, I think this looks relatively good. Relatively, I say it's not. Oh, no, that's one missed. Let's just quickly do that. So it's that swatch, I think. There we go. But yeah, just, you know, letting you colour things in and say organising things. I say the revelation. I watched a few YouTubers, you know, and what they do, and the under the hidden level, as it were. You know, the one below this, with all the splitters and inserters, splitters and combiners. I think it's a real key to making the factories look good. It makes it tedious to build, but you know, this hidden level, I think is the sort of key to making things that are passable, if not pretty. I don't think I've got any. No, I would need iron plate, wouldn't I? Okay. Let's do... Because I do need to put in a concrete floor, I think. Let's just go and check. So the idea is that there's going to be a big end piece to these, where I do a lot of sorting, sending things around. I've now got the priority splitters and stuff that should let me do that. But the idea is the smelting happens there, and obviously some of that needs to go if I'm going to have this other iron plate factory. But then it comes up here and gets made into iron rods. So these are iron rod machines. And I say this, it's a lot, but it's all of them. It's all of the rods I need. And then this should be copper wire. So this again is all of the copper wire machines I need. Just something I'm going to have to grind all of this out, putting all of the connectors in and stuff. It's a lot of work. And then, as I say, the idea is that the material goes down the bottom end, so the far end, or rather it comes, so the raw material comes from that end. It gets processed as it comes along, and then it goes back again. And then it either goes up if it needs processing more, or down if it needs to go back on the train. And then this level here, yeah, which is not finished, is going to be the screws and cables. So this is what we need to work on. Now I've put a thing here because I think I was going to have like a half level, because we also need to do copper plates, or copper sheets rather. If I remember, I think I was going to have like a half a level, because I don't need all of that to do copper plates. So we could fill half of this in, or we could work on the gears and the screws and stuff. What have I got inventory-wise? I've got a bit of concrete. Let's see how much. Oops. Where's the coffee cup? Right. Oh, I've only got 2,500. Okay. We need it in soup mode. It's like but the thing is, I think it really needs blueprints. I'm wondering if that's even going to be possible, because as I understand it, I've not really done any mod stuff with this. I generally sort of leave mods until the game, you know, is version 1.0. But I don't think anyone's done a blueprint mod or a copy and paste mod. So I'm wondering if it's maybe just not possible with how they built the game. But also, I don't think they'll add it simply because they seem to be really reluctant about doing the zoop in. You know, they didn't seem particularly keen on doing it. Maybe I'm getting the wrong impression, but it seemed to be a sort of a, well, we've added this because, you know, you really, 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 really wanted it. Oops. You know, sort of begrudging. And then they've only set it to 10 rather than, you know, allowing you to set it to whatever you want. I'd be appreciative if they did. Yeah, say, I think it really needs it. It's sort of a... Either that or they need to make it sort of... I mean, I suppose they are. That's sort of part, maybe that's part of why they're doing the power... You know, the... whatchamacallit? Overclocking tweak. Make it less power demanding. Because at the moment it's not really practical. Yeah, run out of stuff. Okay. It's not really practical to overclock everything. Partly because of the whole having to find a million slugs. I'm just not a fan of like collectathon type things. But also, it's actually counterproductive in how they've done the system. In that, actually, it's underclocking that's beneficial. I'm sure they didn't intend that at all. It's actually... maybe if I grab some of these now. So if I wanted to make a whole load of screws and cables are made in constructors, I think, aren't they? So I need reinforced plates is the big one. Let's grab all of that. That's probably the worst one to grab. Where's the reinforced plates? Come on. I know you're here somewhere. Can't hide from me. Let's take some more rods. So I've sort of used them all up. That'll be fine. Where are you? There you go. Cheeky. Right. Yes. So, see if we can finish that half floor off. And then we'll see about putting some of those machines in. Well, it wouldn't even have to be a full blueprinting system, just the ability, like, because, you know, you can do the mass deconstruct, you know, where you go, it's F, isn't it? You know, if you hold control, you can select 10 machines. Why can't you then go, you know, control C and just have it copies that exact arrangement? Because like with this would have been way easier to do. Because you see, I've put them in blocks of 5. If I could have just gone like that, you know, pressed some key, and then it ghosts them, and it builds all 5 at the same, you know, like zooping or something, or even a zooping for machines. So you can go put one down, and then you just drag across, and it builds 10 in a row. That surely must be possible. I mean, it's easy, isn't it? Game dev, it's just really easy. But yeah, some sort of quality of life improvement to help with mass building, especially, I say, when you're building exactly the same thing 500 times, it gets a little tedious. Right. So I'll finish this floor off, because what I'm thinking, it'll probably end up with like a roof that's like half, half of it, and then it goes down, and that'll also make the factory look a bit more interesting than just a plain old box, I think. But obviously, don't actually know how big this has to be, because I have written it down, but I can't remember where I put it. One thing, take note in this game is highly organised, which I think I'm going to put my surfing close to the edge of the thing, which I am not, except at work. Rather difficult with alignment on first person. Be cool if they ordered after the top down. Yeah, I mean, eventually, so I can't really use it here. But eventually you get... I can't use it because it requires power, access to power, and so I don't really want to power or do all the power on this. But this hover pack that I've currently got on, I'm sure. So from what you said, I don't think you're that far into the game. Apologies, I tell you, you have to suck eggs, and you already know. But you get these, and what I think they're going to let us do is wear multiple. At the moment, you can only wear one thing at once, but this is Blade Runners, which is basically like exoskeleton legs, so that's normal speed running, and then that's with the exoskeleton, so it's a bit faster. It also lets you fall farther without getting damage, but you get this hover pack. Now where have I got some power? I mean, you get the jet pack, which is fuel powered, but the jetpack only has, it's more like a double jump, the jetpack. So if I do that, you see it's burning through a bit of fuel, and then it runs out, and it just stops then. So you can't really use it to build in. It's more for let's say exploring. And if I fall off of here, this would kill me, but if I just use a little jetpack burst, then it arrests the fall. But say this hover pack that you get it literally lets you hover. So if you want to do third person building, this is the thing to get. But in order to use it, you have to connect to the power. So if I move away from the power grid, you see it runs out of juice, and you don't, because I haven't got my legs on, I can't really survive the fall very well. Spill your coffee. So I really... Someone was saying, being blind, they didn't really like the coffee cup. I really like... This is what I'm saying, because I don't know if I said it while you were here, but there's something called the Awesome Shop. If you've not unlocked that yet, unlock it, because there's some really cool stuff in it. That makes your life really easy. I think, I mean, I guess you have, because you know about the cup, but I don't know if you've seen the model of the Pioneer, but it's wearing a helmet, so the coffee's not actually going anywhere. It's just, I guess splashing against the faceplate. Because I got a bit of a theory that the Pioneer is actually a robot. It's not actually a person as such. But we'll have to see when they do this, reveal the story side of things. But yeah, I love the sloshing about coffee thing. And as you say, when you land and it splashes about and stuff. Right, so let's try and get this finished. This particular little layer. And I'll plop some more constructors in. Could do with some optimizations, but I mean, it doesn't help that my machine's not the best, but yeah, I could do with a optimization pass, I think, because it can get a little crunchy. The draw distance in particular is like atrocious. Makes it quite difficult when you're driving and suddenly a rock appears in front of you. So it could really do with some tweaks there, I think. I'm sure that'll come though. Seems like they're quite keen to, from some of the videos they've been putting out, they're quite keen to get it finished in the not too distant future. I kind of assume from what they've been saying that we're not actually going to get any more. We might get one more like tier, basically. You know, one special thing to represent the sort of end game in some way, or some infinite technology or something that is the end game. But yeah, I think they're pretty much done adding, you know, recipes and all that sort of stuff. It's the feeling I get. Probably today's video will explain how they're adding 15 new tiers there. Always the way. Right, so let's get the legs back on. Dash over there. Oh, did I hit? There we go. Go to if you're up for a great player. So yeah, so if you wanted to do a bit of multiplayer, certainly interested in that. Probably not on this, you know, this save maybe, but I actually have a Discord that I'm kind of intending for people to use to, you know, organise, you know, multiplayer and stuff. But yeah, certainly very interested in doing that. I say, you can get the Discord. I might actually be able to do it for you. So no pressure. If you don't want to join, don't bother. But yeah, certainly I'm looking to do multiplayer. You can get the bot to say it. But yeah, thanks for joining me. You want to, you know, you're around. So basically, I stream this after work on Fridays and Mondays, and I finish earlier on Fridays. So my streams are Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday ones start at 3, British summer time, and the Monday one's a bit later at 5. So that's usually when I'm streaming. So I'm not averse to maybe doing some multiplayer on this. I'm not sure, but so I've got a Discord, and the idea eventually, there's only like a couple of people. I mean, I do this as a hobby. I'm not intending to be some big streamer. If you did want to join the Discord, that's that. So you could ping me there, and you know, maybe set up a multiplayer or something if you're interested. Give it a go. But say it's not a very active Discord because I only really just sort of started using it. I'm trying to set up a Factorio like multiplayer, but as I say, while I was saying things I was saying earlier, I play all of them and I really enjoy all of them. But I know some people that, you know, they like Satisfactory and that's what they like, sort of thing. So yeah, so there's that as well. Yeah, so I say, thanks for dropping by if you're dropping off. And I say I sort of stream about the same sort of time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. If you wanted to pop on back. I've forgotten what I was going to put on this side of this level. It must have been cables, I think. Can I just dig a hole here and work out what's in this machine? Yes, so this is wires. So, oh no, fallen off. Let's go and, in fact, let's build this up again. So I've got a way of getting up there properly. Where does that need to go? To there? sounds good. Cool. I mean, if people are up, up for doing, because I don't like to, people don't like to stream, as it were. They like to watch, sort of thing. If you see what I mean. So, if people are wanting to do multiplayer on the streams, the only slight caveat to it is that the channel is intended for, it's marked as an for everyone audience. So, if you're a bit sweary, then then maybe not do it on, stream. Not that I have a problem with swearing fundamentally, just, I wouldn't want the stream to, be blue, as it were. I say not that I have a problem with that myself. Right, so we want cables. How am I going to line this up? I could just count the number of blocks, I guess, couldn't I? So I want to put them directly under. So I've got a complete row of regular... Oh, I've already made it shiny here, actually. Of that there. And I've got 2 rows of the thing. This is aligned centrally. Okay, let's try and recreate that then. Right, so 1 row of regular. And then... Oh, I didn't look... I think it's just the one... Let's just try it. So let's pop that on materials and foundation. Is it? Yeah, this is the badger. So let's just put that on there. So I think that's right. No, it's that one as well, isn't it? Let's get you there. Oh dear. Oh crikey. Ouch. That's why I should have the jetpack on. Have I got any nuts on me? Yes, I have. Right, let's put the jetpack on. I mean, there's no real penalty for dying. It's just a bit of a pain in the bum because you can only respawn back at your origin point. So then we have to build a truck and drive over. Right, let's try that again then. So I think that's okay. So the next one would be here. Let's check. So if we punch a hole here, we should see. So it's lined up properly there. And is it one? Yeah, perfect. Cool. Okay. Now, it was aligned on the second one in, I think. So it needs to be a constructor here. Now, what have I actually lined it? I think I should put this back in. Excuse me. As concrete. Because I think I'm lining it up on that guy there. So I think I'm lining it up like that. Let's just check. So, the machine is here. The first one. No. So, it needs to actually be there, doesn't it? Oh, it's across the... Okay. So, it needs to be here. Yeah, cool. Okay. Cool. So, let's take out... Or put the things back in so I can make sure I line it up properly. Like that. Come on. There we go. And put that there. This is right, isn't it? I'm not being a complete biff. So this makes cable. Yeah. And this makes... No, this makes cable. Yeah. Question is, how many? I can't remember how many. Let's have a look and see if I can find my little crib sheet that says how many so we've got, is that all? Okay. Okay. So according to my little crib sheet, I should have 65 cable machines. That doesn't sound enough somehow. Maybe if I put 75 in. Because it fits, the factory is designed to fit 50 per row or column, or however you want to think about it. So it's actually only 2 rows effectively, and one of them not full. For the cable, the screws is the other way around though, so I've got 250 downstairs. I had 325. Whoops. I need 325. So if we put this one in, keep doing that. No, I'm putting a, I think, yeah, so actually should be a wall here to separate the two. Yeah, I think that's right. And then this, so we would have a pathway there. And then it's the FICSIT foundation. And the FICSIT foundation. So it'd be, if we're talking 50, 100, 150, no, 200. Because I remember working this out. It might be that I need to do a combined one, you see. So 50, 100, 150, 200. 250, 300. No, perfect. So that'll be the 325. Huh. I knew I worked it out. I didn't realise it was quite so perfect, as it were. Cool. Okay. Okay, so this needs to be here, and it is screws. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And then this here. Also screws. And then this here. So 1, 2, 3, so 50, 100, 150. Yeah. Yeah. Then this one, the whole, and on. Yeah. Okay. Set the recipes on all of these. Oh, I got rid of my list. Hang on. So it's 325 screws. So it's half a row, isn't it? So if this is a screws, 2, 3. In fact, let's just fill it out. So that's 5, 6. Oh no, well, so yeah, so that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's the spacer one. 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, oh, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, but not 22, about 21 rather, 22, 23, 5. So we've got, in fact I can put that on because I've got glass here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Did I mess something up there, or is that just I messed up when I was putting it down in the first place? Let's check. So we got 5 here. Bang, bang, bang. Have we got 5 there? Yeah, 5 there. 5 there. 5 there. 5 there. Was that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, so I just must have messed it up first when I was initially putting it down. So that's 25. Super. Three. In fact, let's just span them down because these want to go all the way up to the end. So. No. The snapping thing is easy, but it actually ends up hurting my finger. If you hold control, it snaps to the lines, green lines, but say I tend to get a bit of not a cramp really, but a pain in the finger because it's the thing of laying down so many again. So there would then be the one extra, and then 1, 2. 5 again. 1. Oops. 3. 5. Run out of stuff. Okay. Good place to run out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that lined up? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5, 5. Wait. Yeah, that's fine. So what am I running out of? It's the cables, isn't it? Let's go and see if we've got a few more cables. Nope. 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 Yeah. Cables. Should I grab a few more of them? Come on. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. Okay. Believe it or not, this is the fun part of doing this. But these machines are. Actually, I could, if I got my list, I could work out how big that floor needs to be above, couldn't I? Yeah, it's the under area that is a real grind. So the belts aren't very friendly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that one there. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 4. Right. Yeah. 1, 2, dear. 2. Come on. 3. 4. 5. So that should be 50 then. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what was that? That was 4 sets, wasn't it? So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and we already know that that is 25. So that is the 50. So I now know how far down they need to go. Now, according to my crib sheet, what do I need for sheets? Let's see if we can get up here. In fact, let's leave it on. Because this is where I might kill myself. Oh, it's only 110. So it's 3 lots, basically. And I could do them, actually. I could do 40, 40 and 40. Rather than 50. And then we could chop the... I'll put 50 in, but I might chop out the 10, and then we can have a particularly funky roof, so that it comes down at the front as well, if that makes sense. So there's like a bulge at one side of it. Might be interesting. But yeah, we'll put them in, assuming I don't do that. So that I can space them out, so that they're symmetrical. This is the one, isn't it? Yeah. Symmetrical on, yeah, when you look at the floors. So, was it there? I think it was there, wasn't it? Oh, hang on. That's wrong, isn't it? Because I need the the hidden floor. So we're not actually building this on this level. Nuts. No? So that's... Yeah, because this is the hidden floor. Yeah, hidden floor needs to go in now. Okay. Let's take that up to there then. I love that you can go basically infinitely high in this game. I mean, you can't. There is a limit, I believe, but you can stand on top of the spacer, from what I understand. Yeah, so actually, I need another floor here, don't I? I knew I needed loads of concrete. Okay. Let's find the edge. I can use it to work out the size still. So we don't want that. Don't want that. But we also don't want to delete it while we're stood on it. Always a bad time. But yeah, let's work out So if it's 3 rows, how big does it need to be? Before I get carried away with the concrete. So, we have the pathway here. So the first FICSIT foundation goes here. So this is a constructor. And it goes there. And then we check. It's properly aligned. Constructor is on that there. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. And then we need 3 of those. So, right, let's put in. So that's the walkway, that's the foundation, that's the walkway, that's the foundation. So we do need 1 more, but we don't need all of that. So we do need 1 more here, or in fact 2 more. So we would say 40, 80, 120. Yeah, so this is where the wall is, so I don't actually need a lot of what I've put in there. So all of that can go. Fire style, everything must go. Unless I put something funky here. I mean, how many plates do I actually need? Oops, line. Have I not noted the number of plates down? Why have I not noted the number of plates down? It's not a lot. One of the things I always get trapped in with this game is making tons and tons of plate, because you need plate to build basically every machine. But you don't need plate to build, you know, like products. So like when you're building, you know, those things there, you don't really use plate. You need it for the reinforced plate, and then, you know, it does trickle up. But because of Factorio, I tend to think I need millions and millions of tons of plate, and you don't. It's like screws. But you do need loads and loads of screws. Mainly, but that's more a stacking issue. The fact that, you know, a single screw occupies a slot on a belt, and of course they stack to 500 and they're used quite heavily in recipes. So it's actually like you don't need that many machines, except for the fact that I say that they only use 1 screw at a time, and you use, you know, dozens of screws in a single recipe. Now, what I've said here is that I need. Yeah, there you go. That's why I was going to have a separate plate factory. Oh, I say that. That's only. So I need 77 plates. 77 constructors making plates. Which is not a lot. I mean, it's, you know, we could round it up to 80. No worries. And we could then, so this could be 3 rows of, you know, sheets. In fact, what I could do. Because we could have like an M-shaped roof, if you see what I mean. So a sort of. I put the plates. Was that perfect? Oh, it's perfect. On this side. So what do we got? So we've got walkway, 2 for the thing, walkway, 2 for the thing, walkway. So in other words, rather than have because it's so few machines making plates. The trouble is it's so few machines making reinforced plates as well. It's only 50. And it's like I'm conscious. If I keep doing this, I'm constantly removing the reason for having my other factory. And I do want to keep the factory. I could always repurpose it for aluminium or something, maybe. Because I just basically, so if that's 2 rows of plates, all I need is one, although I don't, do I, because they're bigger? Because I would need 1 row. What's going on here? Here we go. I would need 1 row of assemblers. Oh, I can't. Nuts. Let's go and get some rotors then. It's like, it would make a lot of sense to make the reinforced plate here. What am I looking for? Rotors. It's almost thematically I'm not keen on that. If that makes sense, it's a bit of a weird reason. Just get one of each of those. Because I kind of would like this to just be the very basics. If that makes any sense at all, which I don't think it does, but in terms of logic, but I don't know, it just feels better to have a factory that's making the very, very low level products, or the, like the most common products, if you see what I mean. Because basically what I'm saying is we have constructors here. Properly. And these are making iron plates, and I only need 80 of them. So this is what I'm saying. I always overestimate the number of plates I need, and you do need, let's say, you need them to make every machine basically, or they're used. So there you go. So that's like 10 plates, and the reinforced plates are basically plates with screws attached. And they use more for that than there are actual machines. So it wouldn't be an assembler. No, it would be an assembler, wouldn't it? Wait, let's just do it for... Wait. Oh! The floor's missing. So it wouldn't be a constructor, it would be an assembler. We would need 1 row for a walkway. If I line that up, that corner. Because I don't actually think I can fit 50 of these in, because they're bigger. I think. Yeah, they're wider, aren't they? So this machine matches perfectly between these 2 squares. And this one doesn't. Yeah, there you go, look. So it's slightly wider. But not catastrophically wider. Why are you clipping weirdly? Don't clip weirdly. Is it something like, it's not 2 to 3 or something? No, it isn't, is it? No. Oops. Right, so there we're back to a square. So how many of these is the equivalent of those? Because as I say, I know I can fit 50 of these in. You know, it's been designed to fit 50. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 4 to 5. So 4 of those is the equivalent of 5 of those. So in other words, if I was to keep the same pattern of, you know, a 5 and then a gap, they wouldn't fit, but they would, in that I could have 4. Except then that I would only, so in the space that I've got 50 of these, I would only get 40 of those. And how many machines do I need? See, this is the type of maths I'm okay with. The very complicated maths tends to screw with my head a bit. So let's have a look on the lab, Factorio lab. So so according to this, I would need 50. I actually need more than this because, say, you use the reinforced plates in building things rather than recipes. So I probably need more than 50. No, I'm not, yeah. So I'm not going to do this. So we'll have the other factory, because what I can actually do probably is I can make modular frame. I can make at the other factory that's already there, but I want to repurpose. We'll make iron plates, reinforced plates, and probably modular frames, maybe even heavy modular frames, except that's concrete. Because at some point, I basically need to build a steel foundry, and that's going to be over in the corner of this desert over here. That's going to be over here. Steel foundry there. Wonder where, but then I need to, the things I've sort of forgotten is basically a concrete factory. At the moment, we've got this factory here and it's producing, you know, screws and rods and stuff. So we can repurpose that to be, you know, plates, reinforced plates, modular frames. But we could also make it the concrete factory, because it does need quite a bit of reworking, particularly from the train's point of view. Or, because it's quite a friendly area of the map in the sense that, you know, there's nothing particularly, you know, we're not drowning in spiders and poison over here, because it's a starting point, basically. So we could, although there is quite a bit of poison there, I think, but we could have a concrete factory here. So then we could make the reinforced, or whatever it calls them, heavy modulars. You know, so we could have the concrete chain there, basically. So, you know, raw concrete, the reinforced beams, and one of these factories could make the heavy modulars. Because I don't actually need, you know, that many. You know, there's like 11 heavy modular frame thingies. It's not good. It's a lot of power and stuff, but it's not going to be 1 million square feet of you know, real estate. So it's a relatively small factory. Okay, so then Caterium is the other factory I need, and that's what I'm thinking about repurposing this into. Now that, you know, because there's the whole question with quartz as well. But I think that's relatively simple to field, but to tick that box, as it were. So this could be repurposed as a Caterium factory. You know, Caterium smeltery, basically. And then maybe quartz ends up somewhere here, because there is quartz there. This is the one I couldn't find. I think it's in. I think you have to get in a cave here, and you go through the cave system, and it's in there. But it's also full of spiders. My favourites. Yeah, I like that plan. It's actually oh crikey, it's 5 o'clock. Blimey. The time has got away from me. Oh, hello, Chiniwa. Sorry, I was looking at other screens, so I didn't see your comments there. Can I ask a question regarding your streaming setup? Yeah, sure. I have the impression that you do not immediately see when someone chats, and it kind of takes some time before you notice Do remember that I have some negative feedback on my stream about such a setup. Change my setup so that I can see immediately when someone chats. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Well, I didn't. My problem, I'll be honest, it's not really a setup thing. It's my paying attention thing. Because I'm sort of a small streamer. I mean, I've done a heck of a lot of streams where there is nobody there, and I mean literally nobody there. So it's not uncommon. Yeah, so I'm not, no offense is taken. So it's just it's literally, so I have a 4K monitor, and so it's quite wide. So basically, I've then got a second monitor, and it's just in. So the chat is as close as I could get it to being. I couldn't have it overlapping on the actual, gameplay, as it were. So it's literally in my peripheral vision. So I couldn't get it any more, close to being able to see it, sort of thing. And the problem is more when I don't see chat, it's basically because I'm not paying attention. Partly that's, as I say, I've done so many streams where there is literally nobody there. It's like there's not really any point in doing it. In looking particularly, because I say I know there's no one there, so it's like I'm not chatting to anyone. In fact, it's been a bit weird actually, because in particular Satisfactory, nobody watched my Satisfactory streams, but just recently they have, and so which is cool. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just Satisfactory in particular, I've got into the habit of not really looking for chat, and I say I sort of, it's literally, so if the screen ends there, from the gameplay, then it's literally there, the chat's there. So it's not far away. It's not a far away problem. It's a me not paying attention problem. Is more the issue. But yeah, so I mean, I'd love to get through. I'd love to actually get one of them vertical screens, and have the chat and stuff on that, because I think they're really useful for that. Particularly now that, so I've got some. User skill issue. That's the one. And I say, I'll be honest. I mean, I've said this before quite a lot. I'm not actually that fussed about, being a big streamer or anything like that. It's, I love that people do come back and do want to chat and all that sort of stuff. But, it's just a bit of fun for me, really. I don't, I'm not, if no one watches, then I'll just do it anyway. It's not, it doesn't bother me from that point of view. It's just to say, you just get into the habit of, well, no one chats, so there's no point looking to see if they're chatting. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. But yeah, anyway, that's probably it for today. We have save vision. Yeah, so I say, finish that for today. So a bit of a plan. I say I'm not going to do this, so we might as well tear this down, I think. It's not, it's just a more conceptual thing, I think, a sort of, what I want these factories to do, rather than it probably would make a lot more sense. Because if I don't have them there, I'm going to have to put stuff on trains and send it around. But I think I prefer the idea that, it stops at, rods and plates, basically. Rods and screws and that sort of thing. And then we'll have those other factories doing other things. Because I think that's just a bit more fun for me. It'll also force me to work out trains a bit more. Because I confess I found them a bit janky in this. Particularly the timetabling. It's a bit sort of weird, if I'm honest. Yes, so that's it for today. Let's pop up the old schedule. And it's the usual... Where the heck is it? There we go. It's the usual thing for the weekend. We're back to normal after all the adventures with WASD and birthdays and all that sort of stuff. So, I'll be back tomorrow. So, yes, the usual sort of schedule. Back at 3 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday for some Factorio, and Sunday for some more Factorio. We'll be doing Crashtorio as per usual on the Saturday. Hello, Bearded Fox. Yeah, I'm just ending. So, Yeah, I do this. I play games with my friend. Well, there's not too many of them playing now. They're all keen during the pandemic, but not so much now that now that's all sort of over. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow with some Factorio. It'll be Crestoria 2 tomorrow, and we'll be doing the Blueprint series on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, where I'm working through building myself some blueprints. And then Monday is Satisfactory, which is 5 o'clock after work stream. Then hopefully, I'll be honest on the I'll do 2 hours. I'll do the usual 2 hours that I do, but I may be a bit late because I've got a work meeting that like butts right up, like really up against it. Usually I'm finished okay to be able to start the stream, but it could well run right up to 5 o'clock, the meeting that I'm in. It's a really important one. So if I go live a bit later, that's why. But I'll do 2 hours, but yeah, it may start a little bit later if that overruns. Trying to see how much we 2 hours. Work is one of the Unfortunately, work pays the bill, I'm afraid. So yeah, I mean, I'll drop by if you're streaming. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. So basically, I guess the other bits and pieces, the general things. I've got a YouTube channel if you wanted to catch up on any of the VODs. It's alias to Triggles, but it is Trismegistus as well. You can follow me on Twitter if you wanted to see when I'm going live. And then I've also got Discord, particularly interested with the Discord. There's not many people in it at the moment, but the idea is to try and set up some multiplayers, maybe do some multiplayer streaming, maybe, if people are keen on that. But otherwise, I'm keen to play the building type games I play and give the multiplayer a go on those. So the idea is eventually to use that to set up some multiplayer games, and obviously to chat, with people who watch. So it's just easy. Yeah, I guess sorry. If it comes across on Pegaface, it's no worries. I know you're joking. But yes, so I say I'll be back tomorrow at the same sort of time with some Factorio. So if you have been watching, thanks for doing so. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you might consider coming back for another. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.